Hey, what's going on, gang? It's Brian. Hey, I wanted to give you guys a quick review of the 7500 RedMax blower. These are the blowers that we've been using for the last 3 or 4 years. I'll give you guys a quick in-depth review, kind of give you some pointers, some things that I like, maybe some things that can improve, but really quick, like I said, these are the 7500s. We have 2 of them. We've actually had these for 3 seasons now each. Before that, we got started with the 7500, or I'm sorry, the 5000 series, and they were great RedMax blowers, a little underpowered, but you know, you get what you pay for. So as soon as we could, we invested and reinvested into the 7500 series. The one over here on the this one right here, we've had for probably 3 or 4 years. This one's maybe 2 years old now that I think about it. But they're about $450, something like that, maybe $500. But they're definitely worth it. I mean, when you're out there and you're trying to be as productive as possible, the last thing you want to be doing is wasting time blowing grass clippings, which isn't really making you money. It's kind of like the leftover part. So you want to make sure that you and your guys have the best equipment you can to start moving along and get to that next job where you can start making some more revenue. I really enjoy these backpack blowers. These are the 7500s, like I said. We've never really invested into the 8500s. I would imagine if one of these go, maybe we will, but for $550, it's not a cheap investment, as you guys can imagine. So let me do a quick walk around, maybe show you guys some parts, and then we'll fire these up. First thing that I really enjoy is the trigger switch. You know, it's all the way up to turn it off and to cut it off. Right here you got your trigger, your throttle. It's a little stiff, but it's about 30 degrees out this morning. So, but I really like having the right side. I know there's an option to get the left boom. I just didn't want that thing breaking off, so we decided to go for the right hand side with the right trigger. The shoulder straps, I really enjoy how these feel on when we're working with them all day. They're very thick, you know what I mean? I've seen some brands where they're pretty thin and you know, they bunch up, you know, pretty quick, and after a season it's just having a big hard plastic, you know, pack on your back, and it doesn't feel very well. These guys have the cushion foam as well, so it really kind of minimizes it. It breathes through a little bit, so it kind of cools your back off a little bit. Not as good as they advertise, but I'm still pretty impressed with that. Let's see. Let's turn it around for you. Got the larger air filter that you guys can remove the 2 nuts and rechange the air filter every season. Is pretty much what we do. On the back side of things, you got your choke when you throw it down. This little red clip, it always catches on something and breaks every year. But you know, we've rebuilt the carb or whatever once or twice for each of them already. But you throw it up when it's going. On the side of fuel and gas, you know, it's definitely they go through gas. There's no doubt about it. Anybody who owns one of these will tell you that they suck gas, but they're very powerful for what you get. So it's kind of one of those trade-offs. You can have great fuel economy and go a little slower, or you can just have this thing suck it down and you can, you know, power through all those clippings and get to your next job. So I'm gonna fire it up really quick for you guys. Granted, I've only started these once since I took them out, so let's see what we do. So you get that on-off trigger, pretty cool. Let's see how the other one does. I'm just kind of curious. Wow, not bad. Not too bad, actually. I only fired them both up once this season. So, again, we always keep a 2-stroke, you know, gas can, if you will, with the 50 to 1 mix with gas and oil in the truck. We got a couple gas tanks full of those, and like I said, you're gonna go through gas with these. But some of the things that I don't like is this little cord right here. It always catches. It's always on something. You know, I've electrical taped it 100 times. We almost have to do that every season. I wish they'd come up with a better system for this and just having this hang out, as you guys can see. But beyond that, you guys can see you got loose wires. I got to tape all this up before we get out there, you know. These little metal bands, these notoriously, you know, fall off. Sometimes you'll be blowing and the whole tube goes. We tighten them up as hard as we can, but it's hard plastic and it can still bend and flex. And then the back part, the foam, they have these like taps that, you know, that just kind of press in to keep the foam pad on. I'd like to see something a little bit more durable where, you know, these always catching, they're always peeling off the foam. As you guys can see, it's always popping off somehow. So I'd like to see if there's a better design they could come up with sometime in the future for that. But, you know, overall, I'd give these things you know, a 9 out of 10. These things are a workhorse for us. These are a beast. They'll blow grass clumps, you know, apart when you have to do a backyard and it's really thick. It'll blow those grass clumps right apart. You don't have to worry about that at all. So we definitely enjoy them. Personally, I've only used RedMax. When I first got started in business, we were using off-the-shelf stuff from Home Depot and Sears. But again, once we started making some more profit, we reinvested into these blowers. I would imagine we get some 8500s here this year if these ever poop out and they're too expensive to fix, which kind of sometimes is the case. But anyway, just want to give you guys that honest review. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll move on to the trimmers and the edgers.